You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today we're doing our weekly recap number 42.
42, we chugging it along, baby.
Yep, and we got several awesome news for you guys and some interesting stuff to talk about. But first, before we get into DC, MCU, and etc., we're going to talk about the writer's strike and now the new acting strike that's going on in the realm of film. What do you think about that?
Listen, man, I think I read somewhere that the last time this happened was like in the 60s or 70s.
1960 when Ronald Reagan was president of the Acting Association.
Wow.
So
he was really?
Yes. So
That's
right
wild.
before, he was president, but of the United States, but he was the president of the Acting Association. It was the last time that this happened.
And I'm kind of surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised that took this long. I think everything was going all right. And this is predominantly, Michael, because of AI. So what I've seen across the internet is that mostly actors are worried that these big studios will use AI to kind of generate their image, their likeness, which in turn will put them out of a job. It's similar to, the writers have been on strike since May. I mean, obviously, I think even more so, it's a lot easier for AI to generate just like a movie or, a script. Right. You can enter in like a sentence and it'll pump out a ton of stuff. Right. So I think they're looking for a contract or assurances from Hollywood that, hey, we won't let this technology take your job.
Also, I mean, there's so much aspects too of pay angles. And I know a lot of people look at it and say, oh, actors and all them writers, they make bukus of money. Yeah. Sure, the ones who work on, Marvel,
like the
Stranger
A-list,
Things, those kind of big deal things. But those who are off working on like smaller projects, smaller shows, guest appearances, or whatever else, they don't make a lot. Like you said, they probably make like $500 a job, if that. I don't know.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty cheap.
It's very cheap, and they don't make a lot. And they're trying to make a living at doing this because it's what they want to do, and they'd like to make it big. Yeah. And these writers are the same way. I mean, of course, some of these writers that are huge and massive that have huge projects, then they make pretty good money. But these that work on like shows, your daytime shows or other stuff, they don't make that.
And no one even knows who they are.
Exactly.
Either,
Exactly. So it's unfortunate. And, I mean, obviously, this writing strike and acting strike is bad for us consumers, especially us who talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah. But something needs to be done.
I know.
That's clear.
That it's not our livelihood. That's how they're providing food to their families. So
exactly.
Yeah, like you said, they're looking for better wages, and then they're looking for a secure future,
right?
Which I think is totally understandable.
Right. So I don't know how long this is going to last or what's going to happen. I have no idea.
I really would not be surprised if you saw this battle on for about 6 months, 12 months. I read a report yesterday that apparently Hollywood is trying to bankrupt its writers, so they're willing to wait as long as they can until literally the writers run out of their savings to make a deal, which I think is deplorable. I think it's pretty bad, but
just have to see.
It's wild. Like I said, I think we could see this go on for a while.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what's going on with that as well. So now to get into actual news and how long this news will stay or how long we have no idea now.
Will this be our last news now?
No, it won't be. I'm sure we'll have plenty of
Nothing comes out.
But with the DCU, we got to talk about it. And that being James Gunn came out and released more cast members added to Superman Legacy. And we remember way back a couple months ago, he did reveal that Superman Legacy would be as if you're entering into a world that already has superheroes, which I love. It's like you're entering into a comic book world.
We've had enough of like origin stories.
Right. I mean, if you're going to be different than Marvel's formula that they did so well back in the original Infinity Saga, then
start here.
Start different. You know what I mean? So the castings we got are really, really cool and interesting. And that being of course, one of James Gunn's best friends, Nathan Fillion is going to be Guy Gardner's Green Lantern.
I think it works.
I think that's a W casting.
I know.
I think he's a little too old. That's just my opinion.
As soon as I saw Green Lantern, I immediately thought of Howard Jordan.
I did too.
And then I read the caption. I was
so worried.
Oh.
I know. I was just relieved.
I was so worried.
Relief. I was so. I was right there with you.
I know you like your friends, but dang.
I know. I think this is the only one that's a little bit like I think he could do it. He definitely. Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I mean, he's a jokester. He's wild. He's out there and he's a hilarious character. And I think Nathan Fillion does that.
He
can
fits
do that
pretty well.
But he's old for Guy Gardner, in my opinion. But we'll see how they do it, and he'll probably just not be in it a whole lot. But I'm excited to see how they do it. Next up, this is two or three incredible castings. They look like they're comic book characters, and I think they have the acting chops to pull them off. That being, first off, Isabella Merced as Hot Girl.
Yeah, that's a great cast.
Great casting. Absolutely.
She looks amazing. I saw some
perfect.
fan casting pictures. She looks real good.
She looks so perfect. Next up is, forgive me if I mispronounce his name, Eddie Gathegi. I'm so sorry. As Mr. Terrific.
Dude,
also,
he looks good.
He looks great. Getting that bag after what they did to him in X-Men First Class, bringing him back for superhero. And Mr. Terrific, I think he fits the role too as well.
Yeah, he fits the part.
He does, absolutely. Next up, we also have lastly Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho.
It's my favorite one.
He's fits the part really
dude,
well.
Bro, he's a freaking baller. You know, he's coming off the success of Barry. You know, I was introduced to him through Gotham, but I'm just really, excited and surprised to see James Gunn casting these bigger guys for like these smaller roles and really putting an emphasis on them. You know,
and it's kind of fortunate too because I think he would have been a good Zaz in this universe as well.
Dude, yeah,
I know. But also, he also is in the Flash. The CW Flash is the Mist as well, so he has several DC experience.
Yeah.
So to see him as Metamorpho, a superhero now, this is the first time he'll be play a superhero, will be cool.
That's cool, dude.
Next up also is that finishes what's going on with Superman Legacy, but James Gunn did confirm that forgive me if I mispronounce his name, Miguel from Cobra Kai, whatever his name is, I'm so sorry. His Blue Beetle will continue in the DCU. Okay. What do you think about that?
Honestly, dude, I feel like this is a political move. Like, listen, James Gunn, bro, this movie's gonna flop. I mean, you look at like almost every movie.
But did
that
you
has
hear what he
come out
said?
recently.
If it does flop, it doesn't matter. He's still gonna be involved.
I don't know, dude. I mean, he must have just unwavering confidence in the kid. Dude, I just don't see it. Like, I'm not even excited to go see it in theaters. It just looks like a bland, like coming of age teenage superhero movie, which they're all kind of the same.
And my question too with it is if James Gunn's first movie of the DCU, and he said this time and time again, is Superman Legacy, then how is Blue Beetle going to be in the same universe if it's not the first movie of the DCU?
I know. And do you really want Blue Beetle to be the start, man?
You don't. So my question is they're going to like pull a multiverse ploy and have like Blue Beetle, like for example, take place before the Flash movie, and then when the Flash reset the timeline, Blue Beetle change also and bring him in the universe, and then Superman Legacy is the start. Or maybe he's going to do it like this. He's going to say Superman Legacy is the first movie because it took place first, and then Blue Beetle took place later.
I think that'd be the most logical choice.
Yes.
I mean, if you look, dude, anything tied to the DCEU will do terribly because number one, like the diehard fans know that it doesn't matter. Yeah. And number two, like the ideas are just being regurgitated. Like Shazam 2, like really had no effect on anything, right? You know, as far as the universe goes. The Flash movie, unfortunately, the controversy played a part, but I still think it would have flopped if not for the controversy.
I think it would have done better.
How expensive it was to produce.
I agree. And then that Aquaman 2 is going to do horrible.
Dude, it's going to be pretty bad.
Which
is crazy. The first one made $1 billion,
which is wild because you could see how much momentum they had and how much it's left.
But you obviously see a lot more boycotting for Amber Heard than you will, I think, for Ezra Miller.
That's absolutely true because she deserves it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Next up is a new show that's on Max, and I've been hearing a lot of buzz about this, not being My Adventures of Superman. And I've heard it's really, really good.
I heard it's really good too.
I'm trying to think, do we need to like watch it and do a season review? I mean,
I'd be down to do a season review.
I mean, that's
my
wild.
boy, what's his face? Jack Quaid, he's voicing Superman.
Yeah, it has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
It does.
100%.
It does.
I like they got this whole like cool animation style going for it. It kind of reminds me of like some animation you see on like Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot like The Invincible. And
that's kind of vibe. But it's a totally different vibe.
It is. It is. I mean, it's definitely from what I've seen of it, it looks different, unique, and also like really interesting and good to see. So I'm interested in it. We may have to check it out there for you and review it for you guys. All right, next up, some MCU news. And this MCU news, of course, gets me so hype and made me smile so big when I saw it. I mean, I'm just scrolling.
Take off your shirt in public
exactly.
and just waving it around.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And that's how every fan should have felt. Too. I mean, when you look at Ryan Reynolds' Instagram and then you go over to Hugh Jackman's Instagram and you see a post of them two standing together with Wolverine in his famous yellow suit, the iconic suit. That looks so perfect. It looks so good. Next to Deadpool with a redder, more comic accurate suit as well. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't even know what to say.
I know, it was amazing.
It's perfect.
They're freaking filming a fight scene in front of the 20th century studio logo.
Insane.
And we got leaked photos. That's crazy.
I know.
Dude.
And you know exactly where it's going to be. The realm in Loki where they send the variants, the time stuff. Yeah. That's exactly where that's going to take place. So cool. So that's really cool to think about. They're having that fight and the fight's breaking out. Looks like Wolverine's like tearing him in half. It's so cool.
Dude, it looks so
excited.
Dope, man.
You know for a fact though that Deadpool's going to look to the break the fourth wall and go, dude, I can't be fighting this guy who looks like mustard and I look like ketchup, man. Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's going to be hilarious.
Watch him say that.
Still, Wolverine looks so fantastic. I mean, it's the best suit we've seen of him.
The best suit.
And it could be the best comic suit we've seen, to be honest. It looks so good. I can't wait to see the cowl. Hopefully get that as well. Ooh. I'm hoping he rips his sleeves off at some point as well.
I will say, I'm seeing a lot of criticism about him having sleeves on. You know, I know technically in the comics,
they just nitpick.
Dude, he's wearing a yellow suit.
Just
what more do you want?
With it. Yeah. And plus, they could have incorporated that just so that he could rip him off at some point in the movie. Like
most of the movies, he's just wearing like a wife beater. You know, like that's it, and jeans.
Man, this is gonna be so good.
I know, dude.
I mean, I'm so excited for Deadpool 3. I really have such amount of confidence. It's gonna be the end game of the Fox X-Men universe and the beginning of the transition to the MCU.
Yeah,
and it just looks so incredible. And Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, man. Like honestly, at this point, just keep him as Wolverine, dude.
I know, dude.
Just do it.
I know he's like 50 something,
Who
but
cares?
bro, he's in great shape.
Who cares, man? He could do it forever.
Yeah,
and he's just that good. And when he plays the movie, it will officially, have the record for longest played. So
tenured, yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
To think about. So I'm so excited for this movie. Hopefully it'll still come out next May, but I don't know.
It may not. It's definitely not.
We'll
the actors are going on strike now.
We'll have to wait and see. All right, now it's time for our Matt Reeves Batman helmet.
Okay, Matt Reeves Batman helmet. There's so much.
I love you, Matt Reeves Batman.
Matt Reeves Batman is my favorite universe.
It's so great. All right, we're gonna do 2 rounds today. Let's see how it goes. All right, Nathan's got one.
I got one.
Here.
Ooh, this one will be interesting.
All right, what do you got there, Nathan?
I got Red Tornado.
Red Tornado,
Yeah.
okay. I have Green Arrow.
Ooh.
This is an interesting fight. Red Tornado is very, 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 very powerful. I mean, he can create tornadoes. You literally like blast tornadoes. And in some incarnations, he has laser vision. And then Green Arrow, of course, he never misses. He has an incredible shot.
And he could probably shoot through a tornado.
He could shoot through a tornado and give it a little bit of spin.
But like,
it depends on the plot armor.
It depends on plot armor. It depends on the situation. The question is how durable is Red Tornado? Like, could he take?
He's very durable.
Arrow?
He's very durable. I mean, he is an android, but he's durable android. He's not like gonna get shot in one blow.
Green Arrow would have to put like arrows straight through his eyes.
Yeah,
like, it's really.
And even then, it probably would bounce off of him. And he just kind of has slits his eyes. He doesn't really have eyes.
I know.
So,
like, really, that's the most OP power. Like, never be able to miss. But I don't know if it really changes.
And I don't know.
anything.
Like, I really love the character of Red Tornado too. I don't know. It's a good fight, but I think Red Tornado ultimately would find a way. I mean, he would just create a bunch of tornadoes and just body him.
Probably too. Now, if you're talking like CW Arrow, like he has like 25 people on his
the
team.
Green Arrow they made like Batman,
and he's a Batman, so he'd probably win. But no, I think Red Tornado would win.
I agree. Red Tornado in the win.
I love Green Arrow would beat a lot of people, but I don't.
Yeah,
I think he's winning.
Comic Green Arrow he's a jokester, which is so weird. How
I know, dude.
He's so different,
and they do such a dark take in the show.
I love Stephen Amell's Arrow. Don't get me wrong.
I know that was I think the first superhero show I ever watched.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, at least I can remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough. All right. Next up, I got Nebula.
I got the Atom.
The Atom versus Nebula. So Atom shrinks. He's
That's
like Ant-Man. He doesn't grow though. He can't control ants, but he shrinks.
Yeah.
Versus Nebula, who is pretty good at combat.
See, like the question is like, does she know where he is? You know,
that's true. I feel like it's possible that like he could literally just get in, like, if we're talking about movie Nebula, he could just enter her system and like break a ton of stuff in her
just
body.
rip out wires.
Yeah, exactly. And then she'd be left helpless.
Oh, that's OP.
And plus, like, if he just shrinks, then he could just rise up and punch her, and she wouldn't have any ability to tell when he's doing that. But then again, if you look Guardians 3 Nebula with that arm she has, it's pretty good.
That's
arm.
that Blue Beetle type mess,
right?
I do think this is overpowered. Like, you can have someone as highly trained as Nebula, like loose to like a tiny dude who's just in your system. Like, I think of like Civil War when Ant-Man was in, Iron Man suit. Obviously, Iron Man didn't know that he was there, but if Nebula knew, she would win. If she didn't know, if it's like a sneak attack or something, obviously the Atom, I feel like, could take about anybody. Yeah. I mean, even Superman, he could crawl into him probably and put some kryptonite in the system. I don't know.
It'd have to be with kryptonite. But yeah, I think the Atom would take it ultimately. I mean, Nebula is very skilled, but the Atom's very smart.
Yeah. Nebula would win almost any other one. But
I just think that would work out there.
Yeah.
All right. So that concludes our Matt Reeves Batman helmet talk discussion.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed today's episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms, so check it out. We cover the world of Star Wars, Marvel, DC, DCU, Harry Potter, all that mess. So go ahead. And like we always say, man, if you got, a long car ride, if you got some school you don't, want to be studying, whatever the case may be, just throw in a little episode here. If you want to stay up to date with our news, our updates, our announcements, check out our socials. Go to Instagram at Here's in the Moment.
And we just want to thank y'all for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.